Welcome to This Week in Guns, a podcast that covers the commentary on the latest firearms industry news, information, and buzz. Brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network. I'm your host, Jake Challen from Gun Guy Radio, and you make this show possible. That's right, you. Simply click through our Amazon affiliate link the next time you're shopping online, and a small portion of your sale goes to supporting pro-gun shows like This Week in Guns. Bookmark firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. Boy, did I nail that one. So we have a great set of sometime first-time panelists, maybe. TJ, you're returning from the Firearms Insider product review manager over there, and the Gun and Gear podcast frequent guest. Hey, TJ.
Yep. Hey, how you doing, Jake?
So how is it going with the Gun and Gear reviews?
It's going pretty good. Just put up a few myself. Well, not quite put it up yet, but I've been working on some. I just need to actually publish them with some pictures. Got that See All Open site I've had for a little while, and that thing, it's pretty cool, but kind of limited, I suppose. But that review ought to be going up pretty soon here.
So what kind of site is that?
It's called the See All Open site. It's kind of like a giant fiber optic with a triangle almost kind of printed on it. And so it's just like a triangular reticle, I guess. You don't really look through it. It just kind of, it's kind of weird to explain. But it's basically a giant fiber optic with a pinpoint at the top that you place on the target and shoot.
Very cool. And we have Anthony from the AR-15 podcast, who is the #1 self-proclaimed newbie over there.
Thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to be here very much. Thank you very much. Somebody's got to do that.
So you got left behind. The AR-15 podcast crew went out to SHOT. And,
I know. I was like, Reed, where's my ticket? And he said, well, it's in the mail, and it just never got here, so I'm not sure. It's just those darn postal people, you know?
Well, let's get into the announcements. So we've launched the Firearms Radio Network Patreon page. That's a way you can crowdfund the entire network. You can contribute by giving $1 or $5 per month. It's a monthly pledge. So if you like all the pro-gun shows on the Firearms Radio Network and you want to show your support, go over to patreon.com/FRN. Patreon.com/FRN. And also, I shipped out some random battle boxes, and I shipped out stickers to everyone that has them coming. So in the next week or so, you should have your stickers if you haven't previously received them. If you don't receive stickers and you would like them and you're a patron, shoot me an email, jake@firearmsradio.tv. Maybe I missed your address or something, or maybe you didn't have your address entered on Patreon, so let me know. And yeah, so let's dive into the SHOT Show portion of this week's show, where we're going to cover just a few things we're seeing out there at SHOT coming back from the guys that are on the ground. So first we're going to talk about the Taurus has released an interesting, I don't know, I guess it's a racker helper at wings on your slide.
Well, hang on. Before we get into that, we got to talk about Jake and his little piece that he's got right here. It says wings, hammers, and curves, and there's some other words in there, but those are the words that stuck out to me. It's like, okay, we're talking about Las Vegas, and we've got wings, like what we go to a Victoria's Secret fashion show. Hammers, we went to the bar, and then curves, we went. Jake, is this, you really want to be there, don't you?
I'm missing hanging out with the guys out there for sure. So not so much missing checking out some of these new Tauruses, though.
Yeah, they seem to have a good bit of stuff coming out, but I don't know if any of it's anything anybody is excited for. I guess the biggest news, I guess, is, or the top one on this list, I guess, is the wings that were mentioned. Looks like Taurus has taken their TCP 738, I believe it is, and added these little fold-out wings on the back of the slide to help you rack the slide, I suppose.
So do you have to fold these out one by one to like,
I was curious about that. I'm not sure if
in the video they can come out one at a time.
Like
no, they come out one at a time. Yeah, and
they definitely look like one of those situations where you have to stick your fingernail under it, and you probably bend your fingernail back and all that junk.
Yeah, I don't know that it's not for somebody who really wants to be able to get to their pistol and rack the slide quickly, you know.
Which is weird because it's on a Pocket 380.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was. Thought maybe if it was on a larger pistol, it's somebody would keep in the home for self-defense.
Yeah, it reminds me of
for a certain very specific niche market.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of what HK did with their VP9 this year. They put little wings on the back, but I think they patented that particular addition. So I guess Taurus just went another route and made it a mechanical wing that flips out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that it's a. I don't know. Okay, so I look at it. My first thought when I saw this picture was, "Oh my God, that looks stupid." My next thought was when I realized it was folding. Well, what's the point to have it on that pistol? And then my third thought was, how good am I at racking my gun one-handed without anything? You know, I haven't practiced all those different things you hear people talk about. And I thought, hey, that could come in handy at some point if it's like a backup of a backup, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it might be a little.
Fold in really nicely. It looks like they're really good and flush.
Yeah, but you got to think you're talking about one-handed manipulation. How are you going to get that little wing out one-handed?
I mean, my thought is this is geared at older people that maybe don't have the hand strength, and this will give them some leverage. Is that the idea here?
Yeah, I suppose so. Just to give you a little.
That's what I was thinking.
The slide's so small. You know, if you've ever handled one of those tiny pistols, that your hands can easily slip off just because you don't have very much area grabbing onto it.
Yeah, and if you're carrying in your pocket, you're supposed to carry loaded anyway, right? So it would just be good to help you. Yeah, and in a holster. So it would be good to allow you to rack the slide before you put it in the holster, before you put it in your pocket. So you wouldn't have to rack it in a hurry. You'd just be pulling the pistol out to fire it.
So they also have the Taurus curve there for people to check out with its non-existent sights. Is a little bit unusual. It has some white lines painted on the back to kind of give you a ballpark figure where you're aiming, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is Taurus's description or the truth about guns, but it's in quotes, so I'm thinking it might be Taurus's description, or maybe they're just being sarcastic. It says, bore axis sighting system for instinctual shooting. It seems like definitely fluffing it up a little bit. Definitely just point shooting with that thing.
And then
to a certain extent,
they
I
also
want to get my hands on it.
Have the remember last year? I think it was last year they came out with the Taurus View, where it was a gun with one side of the grip was or just above the grip was clear, so you could see all the moving mechanicals in the gun, and now they have a non-view view, I guess.
Yeah, I think
in the video they say, yeah, we had some issues with that.
Yeah, I know when it first came out, people were saying that people are going to be trying to watch that lock work go, and they're just going to end up shooting the person in the stall next to them. Now, I don't know if that actually happened or if Taurus saw the potential for that and decided to not market that anymore. Because I know the news came out, I'm pretty sure you guys covered it on here, that they were no longer making the curve, but it seems they're making it. I mean, not the curve, I'm sorry, the View. They're no longer. Seems like they're still making it, it's just not technically the View. It's the same gun with the 1-inch barrel and the tiny 1-knuckle grip, though.
See, next year they need to come out with the Taurus View Curve Winged Edition.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised those wings didn't show up on the curve, being that they're trying to push that. Why not give it one more feature? But they also had this removable hammer for their standard 38 snub nose, if you guys have seen that. I'm just not even sure what to think about that.
Well, as long as it doesn't fall out.
Well, see, the video I saw, it showed up on Facebook. There was a guy, it was about a minute video,
right?
And the Taurus guy he took it out and he went to put it back in and dropped it on the floor and it rolled under the table. So if one of your demo videos is you dropping it on the floor and almost losing it, it doesn't lend itself to I guess selling it very well. But to me, it's kind of like if you want a hammerless revolver, get a hammerless revolver. They sell those too.
Well, I understand the thought process behind it. I give them kudos for the modularity, at least.
Yeah, I'm wondering how easy it is to come out though, because it seemed like the guy on the show floor was just popping it in and out. I would hate to expect it to be there and it be at the bottom of my pocket.
Yep.
Or on the floor somewhere. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it's got some kind of spring lock cam in it or something like that.
Well, IWI is bringing their new Ace variant of the Israeli Galil to the U.S. I think it's coming February of this year, so just a month or so away. So this is kind of the Israeli take on the AK-47. So it has a polymer lower receiver, takes a 7.62 round, takes AK magazines, but it's maybe engineered and touted as being engineered a little bit better. So what do you guys think? The Galil, if I can say that, has been around for quite a while, and now IWI is going to be, IWI is the same maker of the Tavor, are going to be bringing that to the U.S. So, TJ, what do you think?
I think I've heard pretty good things about them. I've never had hands-on. I think they're pretty much brand new, so I'm not sure many people have, other than possibly working over there with some of those forces. But it seems, from all the literature and everything, it seems like a better alternative to the AK, kind of like a AK 2.0 almost, I guess you can say. It's got I think it looks like an ambidextrous safety rather than that big old swing paddle of the AK, so that's definitely one plus to it. It looks like, I think it does use AK mags too, though, for simplicity's sake, I suppose.
Now, this is interesting. So they had the rifle and a pistol brace equipped pistol version planned for the show, but when the ATF released, which we'll talk about here a little bit, they released a letter claiming that misusing the SIG brace makes it, that's now illegal. You can't misuse a brace, and so they decided not to showcase that version of this gun. And I was wondering last week out loud whether or not, some of these companies wouldn't have guns with the SIG brace ready to go and then pull them at the last minute for the SHOT Show. It looks like IWI pulled this one.
Yeah, we actually we talked about an Uzi variant that had their own style of the SIG brace. It was their own, I guess, their own branded one that we just talked about just a few weeks ago on a Gun and Gear review. And I immediately thought about that thing whenever I heard this ruling. That's almost like a dedicated platform to that, and now it's illegal. Well, virtually, not entirely illegal. You can still use it as intended, but I'm not sure many people are buying it for that purpose.
Well, and what do you think, Anthony? AR-15 guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an AR-15 guy, so I'm not a big AK guy. This is, I don't know. Since it's not an AR, I wonder. You've got so many other developments that are coming up. They're crossing between the two platforms. How popular something like this would be. I love IWI. I want a Tavor so bad I can taste it, but this is not something I'd be really interested in myself, just personal.
Yeah, something I didn't include this week is it the CMMG that released the Mutant?
Yeah, the Mutant 47, I think they called it.
Yeah. So where they kind of meld the AR-15 and the AK-47 worlds together.
Yeah, and then you've got Faxon with their ARAC, which looks like a dream.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing any MSRPs on this Galil. Have you seen anything?
No,
no,
I haven't. It's pretty interesting though. We had the Black Rifle run. Now maybe we're seeing a Black Rifle I don't know, evolution here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think everybody's getting a little tired of AR-15, so they're just seeing where they can push it next. Even though, like you mentioned, even though, like you mentioned, these Galils have been around for a little while, but they're just getting around here.
You know, I have been thinking about canceling that AR-15 podcast.
Whoa,
people
now.
just aren't into ARs anymore.
I have little doggies that need food put on the table, man.
Wait, we're not paying you.
Not that you know about. No, I'm kidding.
Well, let's talk about Phobos and their new polymer inside the waistband holsters. That's right, polymer, not Kydex, not leather. Although I think it has leather on it, or is it just a leather design? Actually, now that I look at it again, I think it's entirely polymer, but it's made to look like leather.
I think they just have some scroll work in the polymer to make it look like leather and stitching.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I wonder if I could 3D print one of these.
Probably could.
You can 3D print anything.
You can 3D print a 3D printer.
I'm wondering if there's a design on the web.
So it looks like they look kind of universal. I'm not entirely sure. They call out
some specific
different weapons, but I'm not sure if those are specific weapons.
It looks like
weapons.
Yeah, it looks like the backing has a whole bunch of holes in it that maybe you can just put on any I don't know, interface any pistol on that. So I don't know, that's pretty interesting.
That's good catch. It does have, like you said, a ton of holes. Some of them look like they might be cant adjustment holes, maybe
height adjustment.
Yeah, height, and maybe just throwing on a different shell. So you could kind of buy one and then just get a new shell if it allows for that. It seems to be using rivets though, so it might not allow for that.
Yeah, I mean, it says like there's two versions. There's a IWBL and IWBS, and I'm assuming that L and S are large and small. Because the small is for the single stack, and it's like it says it's compatible with several without having to do anything, like the Glock 42, LCP, LC9, SIG 938. So it'd be interesting to see if you really could carry several small pistols. I don't know that I'd go with a large one like that, but for a small pistol, if it works well, you know.
So is the idea that this polymer is fairly malleable so that you can get away with using slightly different shaped and sized guns in it?
That's my guess, because the retention system, they said, comes from actually having the holster on. So you can't put the gun in the holster without it being on your body. It'll just fall out. It's the tension between you and the belt and everything once it's on your body. So you have to put the holster on and then holster the gun. And the polymer will keep it open so you can reholster. So unlike a leather, it won't collapse on you. It'll be really easy to reholster.
So it must be relatively flexible to cause that kind of sandwich effect like you're talking about, but stiff enough to keep it open. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, so I guess
I'm not a huge fan of Phobos, but it'd be pretty cool to see what people think about it.
Yeah, you never know.
So Kunin is releasing a compact 357 Magnum 1911. They're known. I think they're currently the only 1911 style gun maker that makes it in 357 Magnum, and now they're releasing a compact version, which actually looks like a standard full-size version.
Yeah. It looks like a full-size 1911, but it's smaller than the regular Kunin.
Yeah, I got to hold a Kunin a couple months ago. One of the guys that taught my CCW class had one, and yeah, it's a big gun, but it's a beautiful gun too. I'd love to shoot it sometime, but
yeah, they're great looking. The compact, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be pretty excited about it, though it seems like their large frames pretty difficult to get a hold of. I think they have a huge over a year wait period just to get one. Almost like they don't make them, but they do, just very slowly.
Well, that's the thing with some of these gun makers. I mean, Kel-Tec's kind of known for that. They come out with all this cool new stuff, and then they can't deliver it quickly enough to the marketplace. So
yeah, Now, some of these finishes they have, I'm not sure if that's new for this year, but it seems to be because I've seen them kind of touted on a few different venues. But they have some. Actually, Nick from Practically Tactical posted a picture on Facebook, and I was looking at it, and I wasn't sure if it was my phone or what. And I asked him, "Is that bottom one purple?" And he said, "Yeah, it sure is." So they have like it's probably Cerakote or something like that, like a purple finish. They have some digital camo, a pink digital camo. Guess that looks like about it.
Stainless.
Yeah, of course the stainless.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait a year for a purple gun.
Jay, come on now.
Not gonna happen. Well, Kingston Armory has released 22 caliber versions of the classic M1 Garand and M14 rifles. So this is, I think this is on my to-buy list.
Yes.
Yeah, these are really cool.
Yes. Yeah, and I looked at this, and the first thing I thought was Appleseed, and then of course in the article they even mention Appleseed. So.
Yeah, it'd be the perfect Appleseed rifle, the original rifle meant for it, basically. And
yes, 22 ammos for cheap. Yeah.
They look true to scale, and I'm pretty sure they are. They paid enough attention.
And they said even use.
Go ahead.
They said in the article that they even use some of the actual parts from like M14s and Garand, so that's kind of cool.
So it feeds from a 1022 magazine, but I'm not sure if does it share the same action. It does look like it,
yes,
but it doesn't.
Same action, yeah.
It looks like the Ruger action, but it doesn't look like a Ruger that somebody's modified to kind of look like a Garand. It actually looks like a Garand in a M14. That's very impressive.
Now, if they only made it so that it took stripper clips and it pinged out, like it made a little tiny 22 ping when the
yeah, but they did go so far as to put the like a base plate, I guess you could say, on the bottom of the Ruger magazine that sits flush and makes it look like the factory Garand magazine and the factory M14 magazine.
Yeah, so these are pretty awesome. So I don't see when or if these are available yet, but they're something to keep an eye out for sure.
Yeah,
$700.
One thing I just noticed is kind of like a slight lack of attention to detail is they don't show that operating rod that's usually on the right side. It would have been cool if they could have put some kind of faux piece of metal just to make it look like it, you know. But other than that, it looks pretty spot on.
All right. Well, you'll have to join me on Gun Guy Radio later on this weekend for more SHOT Show coverage. But let's get into the top stories of This Week in Guns with the breaking news earlier this week that the SIG brace is on the ATF's radar now. They've released a letter, an open opinion letter to the public about how using the SIG brace is now not so okay like it has been.
You can still use it, you just have to use it as intended. Strap it to your forearm.
Right. Yeah,
they're still legal for sale, they're just not legal to put up to your shoulder.
Yeah, but come on. Yeah, I mean, you think they ever really intended you to be able to put it up to your shoulder, though?
No, they didn't.
So, I mean, this is not really a change in position. It's just a clarification.
Well, I know they had mentioned before that they were okay with it, and then now they kind of been back and forth for the past few weeks, and I think now they're officially just said, you know what, we're tired of people asking, so we're just going to say no. Nobody gets ice cream if everybody can't have it.
Well, previously they had stated that misusing, which, you know, putting a pistol arm brace to your shoulder would be misusing that.
Mm-hmm.
Misusing it does not constitute, making that an illegal SBR. Right. But now they're pretty much saying that, yeah, misusing it does make it illegal. So,
well, you're right.
We have another statement here that you guys can look. It's on the Firearms blog, but SIG has made a statement that they're going to challenge this issued letter from the ATF. So we will have to stay tuned to this story in the coming weeks and see if anything comes about. See if ATF does another about face or what happens here.
Yeah, SIG seems to be pretty good about standing their ground. I know they had a big ordeal with that muzzle brake that they called it, but the ATF classified it as a suppressor. But I'm not sure if I really heard anything that finished that up. I guess they're still in the dealings with that, so we'll have to see where this leads.
Yeah, do you guys think this would really change whether or not you would have purchased a SIG brace, though?
I never really. I thought this from the beginning. I thought this was going to come down anyways. I just kind of had a bad feeling about it, and I just never really saw the SIG. I just never considered it a SIG brace, really. But I know a ton of people have. I know SIG's probably made millions of dollars off of these things in just the last couple of months.
There's there's that video of Jerry Michalik out there with 2 SIG braces on, just mowing these targets down.
Yeah. Dual wielding.
Is awesome.
Dual wielding, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't make it any less deadly to use it on your arms instead of your shoulders. So
I've heard it is pretty awkward. It kind of changes. It definitely changes the angle that you have to hold the gun. You can't really hold it straight up because it's kind of going against your muscles, I suppose.
Yeah, and it really sucks when you have that itch that you can't reach and you got 2 SIG braces on you.
Well, then you just shoot them a little faster, and it scratches it for you.
AK-47s soon to be made in the USA.
You knew that was coming.
So, yeah, there's been some anti-Russian sanctions going on here in the past few months. We've covered those in previous episodes. But it looks like a RWC based in Tullytown, Pennsylvania, has rights to the AK-47 brand of guns, and it looks like they're going to start producing them here in the U.S. shortly. So, they're planning to, get them rolling out in a new factory here in the U.S. And I don't know, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's a lot of people have wondered why it's taken so long for AKs to be made in the U.S. I mean,
I think the biggest reason I think the biggest reason they weren't is because you used to be able to buy them for so cheap because they were everywhere. So it would be kind of counterproductive to manufacture them here when you can buy them for, a quarter of the price from overseas or something along those lines. But now that, kind of as they mentioned in this article, the sanctions against the imports kind of dried up some of the supplies. Obviously, whenever you can't import something, you're not going to be able to buy it. But I haven't heard of this RWC company. Has anybody else had any experience with that?
No, they're apparently the ones that have handled the importation of all the AKs, according to the article, if this is correct.
Yeah, they're like the parent company or Kalashnikov concern is I guess part of it or something. I don't know, but there's like other companies under them that you would recognize.
Oh, okay.
I talked to these guys a little bit last year at SHOT Show, I think. But yeah, the new guns are going to be branded Kalashnikov, so that's kind of cool. And they're also going to be producing shotguns. So I wonder if that's going to be like a Sega style shotgun or what.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool because then you wouldn't have to worry about them coming sporter, that goofy sporter stock they have, and then converting them. They would be fully converted, I guess you could say, from the factory. That would be pretty nice. Hoping the prices would stay around the on the low end. That would be really nice.
See, Anthony, you're gonna have to think about doing the AK-47 podcast here soon.
Yeah. We can just relabel ours the Black Rifle Podcast and get an AK and paint it black.
No, I think that name's already taken. I tried to buy that domain before.
Oh well.
So Remington pushes the Newtown lawsuit to federal court. I believe we covered this weeks ago about how several of the new victims of the Newtown shooting, their families have filed a suit against Remington Arms for creating the evil Bushmaster rifle used in that terrible, terrible shooting. And they're trying to hold Remington liable for creating, I guess, the gun itself. But Remington has pushed litigation to the federal level, and apparently there was in July of 2005 there was a bill that passed and was signed by then President Bush that is supposedly protects against these civil liability suits, protects gun companies from this type of suit.
Yeah, this is. I can't see this going anywhere, and if it does, I'll be really upset because that's the exact model that I own.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like it's going to hold any water because it's like I don't know, it's just crazy. How do you sue somebody for something they had absolutely no intentions of? It was made to be used for lawful purposes, and this guy obviously did not use it for lawful purposes. So.
Right. Are we going to sue car companies when someone gets ran over, or sue bacon for making me fat, or?
Well,
Well, people have tried to sue McDonald's.
McDonald's, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, this nation's just too sue happy right now, is my opinion.
Litigious society, or whatever it's called, yeah.
Speaking of sue happy, Liberty Ammunition wins patent case against the DoD. That's right, Department of Defense, and they will be paid 1.4 cents for each bullet made, and $15 $15 million for
on top of that.
On top of that. So this, I guess, back in 2011, they filed this suit, Liberty Ammunition against the Department of the Army, who I guess used Liberty's trade secrets to produce enhanced performance rounds. So I think these were like sniper rounds, and apparently they used some of the same patents on the lead-free bullets, the projectiles, and Liberty caught them on it, called them out, and several years in a court battle, but they ended up winning, which is, I don't know, I guess that's kind of cool if they're infringing on their patent and they haven't been paying them a royalty for it. Now they are. So
yeah, that's pretty impressive for I mean, Liberty might not be too small of a company, but they're pretty small when it comes to comparing it to the federal government's power. That's really impressive. That they were able to get that through. It says their patent expires in 2027, so they have that market for another 12 years.
Hopefully they'll use it to grow their company and bring more products to market and that kind of stuff. And I got thinking, this is the Department of Defense. I wonder if Homeland Security supposedly bought like huge amount of ammunition over the last couple of years. I wonder if they might be next on the list if they bought any of that kind of same ammunition or not.
Yeah, there's no telling who all bought some, but I think, like Jake was saying, I think this is a little more specialty type of ammunition, so it might not have been the general issue. I think there were some kind of bills or something a few years ago trying to get the military over to green ammunition, but I think it's logistically not quite. Well, now it's completely impossible if they're going to use this technology. But
well, I think they largely have transitioned a lot of them, maybe most of it, to green projectiles at this point. But yeah, I think this is more for precision style work. But yeah, Anthony, I thought the same thing. What is Liberty going to do as a business with this giant influx of cash? And cash moving forward. I mean, are they going to buy some Lear jets, or are they going to expand their business?
Yeah, hopefully they expand their business. That would be great to see. Yeah, larger ammunition manufacturer couldn't be a bad thing.
Exactly. Maybe we can see a couple of new factories come in and increase our supply of 22.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Liberty makes 22, but
maybe they will now.
Maybe they could expand. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it looks like the MP44 Sturmgewehr rifle is coming from Germany over here to the U.S. This
Can I say that?
This is pretty exciting. Yeah, say it.
Sturmgewehr. I just like saying that word.
You should have been on the episode where we played the clip that told us how to pronounce all the different hard to pronounce gun
I
names.
listened to it.
Yeah, I love that. That was,
and I played along from home.
But yeah, this is pretty neat. The SC, I was actually just thinking about the other day. I know, I forget who it is. The same people that make the 22 MP5 and they make some other stuff like that. They make the 22 clones, and I've always been kind of wondering, if you're going to clone it, why not clone it to full caliber? And now it looks like somebody's just bringing them in rather than cloning it. They're bringing them in, and I suppose converting them to semi-auto is what I understand. These are originals, or are they rebuilt?
Well, it says they have recently have access to museum quality new. So like, were these put away in boxes years and years ago, and they're just now finding them?
Well, here we go. It says a full line of reproduction semi-auto German World War II rifles will be coming to the U.S. starting with the MP44 and the MP38. So I suppose that is a no. They are new manufacturer reproductions. Which is pretty cool because, you know, the materials have gotten better since the 1940s and everything, so they'll probably be a better built weapon, I would imagine.
Now, yeah, I'm gonna put these on my buy list as well as one of those steel helmets with a pointy tip on them, and a motorcycle with a sidecar, and then I'll be set.
At $5,000, I think it's going to go on the very, very tippy bottom of my to buy list, but it'll definitely be on there. Cool thing, they're introducing this MP38 also, which, you know, looks exactly original with the folding stock and everything, but with a short barrel that it's got, they have permanently folded the underfolding stock, and I guess they pinned it somehow. But apparently they made it so that that a hobbyist could easily undo it if you wanted to file your SBR forms and be able to have a short-barreled MP38.
Whip out the Dremel.
Yeah. Just gotta file the right paperwork.
Yeah, these are awesome. Brings me back to my Call of Duty days. So Remington is thanks. I don't know why these old stories are getting in here. So, thanks, Anthony. A few of the stories that got dropped in this week's show are old. We only do news stories that have appeared in the last 7 days. So, if you want something new, maybe you can pick yourself up something new at Amazon. That's right. You can shop Amazon with the Firearms Radio Network affiliate link, firearmsradio.tv/Amazon, and help support pro-gun podcasts like This Week in Guns. So check it out. Also go to thisweekinguns.com before shopping and click one of the affiliate banners. We are to the full auto news segment, stories the real media refuses to talk about, and other crazy stuff. So this is where we each pick a story or two to talk about, laugh about, all that good stuff. So
yes,
TJ, what do you have for us?
Yeah, there was a man this last week. He was in the parking lot of a store, whichever store it is escapes me right now, but it was in Texas, which is interesting because somebody spotted his concealed carry firearm, which I'm fairly certain is illegal in Texas, but I think that's kind of a different story. But anyways, this guy's walking into...
Well, it was a Walmart. What do you mean it's illegal in Texas? You mean it's illegal to brandish?
Open carry is illegal in Texas. I'm not entirely sure if he was open carrying or if the guy just spotted it under his shirt. It looks like he had it under his jacket, so maybe he had a shoulder holster kind of thing and it just swung open. I'm not entirely sure on those details. But so a guy notices him in the parking lot and walks into the store following him. And when he gets into the store, this, I guess, astute citizen decides to tackle a 62-year-old man to the ground and scream that he's got a gun, until security officers break them apart and hold them for police. My first thought when I saw this story is this guy is incredibly lucky that he wasn't shot. You go tackle a guy minding his own business that he's got a gun. I'm very surprised this man wasn't shot. That shows a lot of restraint on the carrier. but it looks like he was arrested for battery, which I think is a great thing. Should be just bothering somebody on their day-to-day business. The man wasn't waving his gun around or anything. He was just trying to go shopping, needed some groceries, and gets attacked.
Yeah, I think it said somewhere in the article that he, when the guy got there who was attacked, he probably was seen putting it into his holster by the other man. Now, the guy who was attacked carrying his pistol was 62, and the guy who attacked him was 43. So, I mean, I'm 40, so I cannot imagine attacking a 62-year-old man, unless he was actually had the weapon out and was trying to shoot people. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good age discrepancy there, on top of just being attacked and random.
Well, and this is Texas, right? I mean, this isn't like New York or California or somewhere where there's a bunch of anti-gun people afraid of guns. Like, oh my gosh, there's a gun.
Yeah.
Call the police. This is Texas. What's going on?
They said while he's holding him down, the 62-year-old guy's like, I have a permit to carry. I have a permit to carry. He doesn't want to turn into a casualty if police come storming in. So he did the right thing by restraining himself from using his pistol because he knew he didn't feel his life was in danger. So props to him, big props to him for that.
Yeah.
And then by saying that he's got his concealed carry, so make sure he's protecting his own life too.
Yeah, this is kind of, it almost seems like a textbook example of things that the Moms Demand and all those other crazy organizations, this is kind of what they're promoting. This is what they want people to
Right.
do.
He was probably standing in the parking lot and saw the guy holster his gun or whatever the guy did, and he whips out the Moms Demand pamphlet. He's like, what do I do? What do I do?
The business card with the key points on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I've kind of done that, sometimes where you have to go into a place like a post office or something, you take your gun off to go in, and then when you get back in, definitely always get nervous that somebody's going to see me, manipulating, just moving a gun around inside of my car, and they're going to think I'm about to go shoot up the post office. It definitely makes me nervous, but this is just, I don't know, this guy, he just... Definitely, they like one of the articles I read said, and they tell us that we have a hero complex, and this guy goes and tackles a 62, 63-year-old man to the ground in the middle of a Walmart.
All right, Anthony, what do you have?
I'm torn, but I'm going to go with the one that's more related to our podcast versus the one that keys another part of my brain. And if you let me, I might cover both, maybe. I like the Papa John's decides what they're going to do about female driver who shot robber in self-defense. This story is just awesome, and it makes me want to go eat at Papa John's. They have a policy that says their drivers are not allowed to carry firearms, but this woman was carrying a firearm, and she was attacked, and she actually pulled out her handgun when he had his gun as well, and killed the robber, shot him in the face and killed him, protected her life and whatnot, and Papa John's is not firing her, which in other businesses might have.
Yeah, didn't he pull her out of the car and she was on the ground?
Yep, exactly. So I mean, it was obvious he had his gun out, pulled her out of the car on the ground. She had no other alternative but to defend her life. So.
Yeah, I say good on her for being able to defend herself, and good on Papa John's for not firing her.
Well, I don't know. This is kind of bittersweet for me because Papa John's released a statement saying the safety of our Papa John's employees is a top priority for our company. The company policy prohibits employees from utilizing firearms in the performance of their duties. We plan no changes to our current policy, which is designed to protect our customers and employees. Yeah, this lady might have been dead if she didn't violate this policy. Upon investigating and considering the specific facts of the situation, we have reassigned the employee to work in the store and are offering her counseling to help her recuperate from the incident. So what I'm hearing here is that, they're not firing her, but they're making her work inside and for sure making sure that she doesn't carry anymore at work.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. She's not going to be driving anymore. But definitely.
You'll be safe in the store. There's no reason No reason to have a gun to protect yourself. We'll keep you safe in the store.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if she actually sticks to that. I don't know. What are they going to do? Pat her down every day when she walks in?
All
But I
right.
know a lot of large companies have these
Yeah.
for various reasons. These
Insurance reasons, all kinds of different things. Yeah.
See, I've heard their insurance reasons. I've also heard that those excuses are BS and they just don't want you to do it. But
Yeah.
no telling. They just don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I think the insurance reason is complete BS, but
They just don't want to get sued if somebody does something stupid and drops, you know.
well, they'll probably get sued either way. So
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
really,
sure.
I mean,
I'm
spill
just
hot
glad this
coffee
lady's
in your
okay.
lap at Walmart, at McDonald's.
Hey, they have coffee right at the door at Walmart.
Yep.
All right, so let's see here.
What are you picking, Jack?
Thieves caught on camera stealing guns. It's been a long day. Guns from a Rural King. Rural King is like a farm store. It's regional to like the Midwest. We have several here in Illinois. This actually happened in Illinois where two thieves were caught on surveillance camera. They busted through the front doors and went right to the gun counter and put a bunch of guns in a sack and walked right out. So they got away. The ATF is currently assisting local police there to track these guys down, but pretty brazen just to smash and grab a big retail store like this.
Yeah, they just smashed through the front door and walked right out with them. I guess was it after hours? I suppose they closed. It says shortly before 11 p.m. I would assume they're closed at that time.
Yeah, I think
they
close at 9 or 10.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they don't have real long hours, but I really like Rural King. They have fantastic prices on guns, handguns especially.
Really? I'm actually glad you clarified on what Rural King was, because I was kind of expecting maybe like a fresher Angus beef burger or something like that, like a Burger King alternative.
Well, they have free popcorn when you walk in the store, for one. So walk in, get some free popcorn, do your shopping. And yeah, they have really good prices. It's actually, I own a SCCY pistol, and it's the cheapest price I've ever seen on that pistol is at a Rural King for like, where do they normally go for?
It's been a while since I've looked it up.
Like 3 or less than 3. Now that I'm saying this, I forget why I even paid for mine. But by far the cheapest I've ever seen that pistol. And other pistols, like last year when they had a R51 there at one time. They had stuff that other places didn't have, and they still had really good prices on them.
Well, if it helps jog your memory, Jake, Bud's Gun Shop has them for $275.
$215, I think. I saw that.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember the episode you talked about that, and I remember being kind of blown away at the price.
And
really awesome.
When we had the ammo shortage, they had like 22 there, more than any other place, and
very cool.
Yeah, it's and you can buy live chickens in the spring. Just saying.
So where you got all your chickens last year?
I think I may have got some there. I don't remember. The kids like going through there for sure. So, TJ, do you have another one?
I was actually going to take Anthony's Papa John's story, but I guess we'll cover this. What do they call this thing? It's a fake decoy carry gun. Let me see exactly what they call it. Perceived defense or something along those lines. It's got to be one of the most ridiculous products I've seen in a really long time. Basically what it is, they've got two models. One looks like a SIG pistol and the other one looks like a Walther P22, and they're both in these Phobos paddle holsters, but they're all plastic and all one piece, just kind of molded. One perceived carry decoys is what they're called. But it's just kind of like just a fake gun that they want you to carry around, so that way somebody sees a guy with a gun and they say, I'm not going to rob that guy. But I don't think they've completely thought through the implications of doing such.
I'm kind of wondering if this isn't fake.
I'm really not sure.
Because they have a shopping cart, and you go to check out, and the fake guns cost $0, $12.65 shipping, and yeah, it looks like I can check out with a free fake gun.
I think they're just not in production yet. That's why there's $0 on the website.
But it lets me check out.
So you can pay them $12.95 for shipping.
Yeah, hold them to it.
Yeah, try it out, Jake.
I'm not going to give them my credit card. Are you crazy?
Send them a certified check. But yeah, I'm just not sure how anybody thinks this is a good idea. So I really hope you're right about it being a joke to get page views. I'm really not sure. They're not really advertising anything else on this page, so I'm not sure what they would gain from.
TJ, you need to. TJ, email Jonathan@pccarry.com and ask him for a T&E model.
Oh yeah.
That's on your to-do list.
Hey, all right.
Do they come out of the holsters? Did it look like that?
No, I don't believe they do.
No, go to the features page. It says safe one-piece construction. Device does not come out of the holster.
Oh man.
And then.
Now go ahead, TJ.
There's just a picture of a guy mugging a lady, and she just looks so lackadaisical about being mugged. But anyway, she's wearing a long winter coat with a big scarf and everything, and I'm kind of wondering where you're going to put this outside the waistband holstered fake firearm to actually deter anybody. It's not going to deter anybody if it's concealed under your coat.
This has to be just like the Onion of the gun world has to put this up, because if it's in, you're going to point a gun in a holster at a person.
Yeah, so here's the features. Safe one-piece construction. Device does not come out of the holster. Lifelike appearance of actual firearm. Comes with holster that includes a belt loop. Increased level of protection associated with open carry, which there are plenty of people that will argue that open carrying makes you the first target. There are people that will argue that it makes you less of a target. So that's a completely different discussion. But the fact that it's fake, so even if you are the first target, you're just screwed anyways, is just completely ridiculous to me.
On their legal section, it says open carry is not legal in all states, and although these are not actual firearms, it is recommended to check with state and local laws before purchase. Even states which permit open carry may have restrictions on where it is allowed. And it says, always, if faced with a life-threatening situation, seek safety first, then call 911.
Yeah. One situation I imagine is somebody, they're doing their daily routine and they go to the post office. They don't feel the need to take their fake gun off because it's not a real gun. So I guess in some people's mind it might be okay to carry in there. And then they turn around as they go to leave, and there's a couple police officers with guns drawn on them, and just could escalate very, very badly.
Or, somebody thinks this is cute, and it ends up being in a kid's stocking somewhere so they can walk around with it. That's not a real gun. It won't hurt anybody.
Right.
It looks real. There's no orange tip. There's no nothing even, so.
All right, Anthony, do you have a second one you want to hit?
Yeah, I'm going to hit. I know I was going to see if anybody else grabbed it, but I really wanted to grab this one. This is watch these guys shoot guns for the first time. Did you watch the video?
Yeah. How about you describe it for the audio listeners?
Yeah, so this is 5 guys are very, for the most part, very anti-gun. I think one of them says, "Oh yes, but I actually, used guns a lot when I was a lot younger." But the other ones are, no, I would never touch a gun, would never have anything to do with one. And so they get to go to a range and shoot a gun, and they're all, "Oh, I think guns, James Bond, maybe they're even masculine. I don't know if guns are really masculine or not. Let's go shoot them and find out how I feel when I shoot the gun. Do I feel more like a man when I'm shooting a gun?" And they dress up in, full tuxes like they're some sort of James Bond people, and they get out to shoot let's see, 3 different MSRs, like an AK-47, a Tavor, and an AR-15, and they get to shoot an 870, which they look like they used several different loads on that, so they actually probably did get a couple little bruises on their shoulders, I would imagine. And then they also got to shoot, what was it? What's a handgun? Was a Ma Deuce, was it? Smith & Wesson Final Model 500 revolver, sorry. It was huge.
I thought it was a 44 meg, wasn't it? Or was it?
Well, the article says it's a Smith & Wesson 500.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what was in the video actually was or not. I'm not that.
Well, you have to keep in mind that it is a BuzzFeed article, so they might not be the most informed on what kind of gun they were shooting.
Go. Yeah, maybe. Well, they also called the following assault rifles an AR-15. So
yeah. They show them handling Tavors and a lot of stuff like that, and a couple times you can tell some of the guys in the shop just kind of wanted them to leave. They're just like, these guys are kind of being kind of ridiculous. I will say that they did a pretty good job at keeping things downrange, not swinging around, pointing them at people. Actually, you mentioned this. They have a little clip where they show the Smith & Wesson 500. If you look really closely at the picture they show, that's a Colt Python. So yeah, they definitely don't know what the heck they're talking about. Or it might be a 44 like Jake mentioned, so it might be an Anaconda rather than a Python.
That's funny. Yeah, this is what happens when a bunch of metrosexual boys go to the range.
Yeah, but the cool part is, in the end, they're like, yeah, this is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, the big thing I noticed during the entire time they were doing it was that they seemed to be having a ton of fun, but in the interview afterwards, they were like, oh, yeah, I didn't really like that so much kind of thing. They just kind of crawfish.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. Let's see here. Could talk about the robber who tried to do a smash and grab at a jewelry store and her pants fell down.
That's hilarious to watch the video.
Or let's see here. How about the Sentinel police chief? This is in Oklahoma. Police chief that was shot several times by a homeowner because this homeowner, it sounded like this, other articles I've read on this homeowner was pretty much swatted because apparently someone called and bomb threats or something, and somehow they thought it originated from this house, which it did not. And so the police around 6 a.m. Burst into this house, and the homeowner thought he was being robbed, and so he opened fire, and I guess the police chief was the one in front and took several rounds to his bulletproof vest and one to the arm. And then the homeowner, luckily he didn't get mowed down. Luckily he surrendered to police and survived. But it looks like the police are re-evaluating the situation here, and it doesn't sound like the homeowner will be charged at this point.
That's a good thing. I mean, what did the police do? They used Find iPhone to figure out where the person was making the calls from, and you know how it's off, can be off by like several hundred feet sometimes. It's like, it was next door, not me.
I think about this all the time. I mean, you're always worried about bad people breaking in the house, but what if the police have the wrong house? We've read articles like this before where they've had the wrong apartment. They've been off a couple numbers and they throw some flashbangs in, and then they're like, oops.
Yeah, there's no telling. I mean, hopefully they'll do some reevaluation of their, at least if nothing else, of their breach procedures, so that unless you think there's a really serious issue going on, they can just knock on the door first.
Yeah, I'm glad this guy wasn't charged because, as far as he was concerned, somebody just broke into his house. So, with guns drawn, so it could have been anything. And I'm definitely, like Jake said, I'm definitely glad they didn't. I'm very surprised they didn't just, like you said, mow him down right there. When you got a guy shooting at your police officers, I'm very surprised they didn't. I'm not sure what kind of verbal stuff was going on. Maybe they got it figured out real quick, but it had to have been real quick to not kill that guy.
Oh, and this could be a complete misunderstanding. So we don't know everything. We don't know the full details from the article. So
you know what? I was going to wrap it up, but there's one here we cannot leave without talking about. Florida chief suspends use of mugshots as sniper target practice. So this is in Miami, I guess, where there was a stack of garbage at the Medley shooting range last month, and one of the sergeants working there saw it and saw a photo of her brother, and his face was full of bullet holes because
Jeez.
they were using like 15-year-old mugshot photos for target practice, and I guess just so happened her brother was in a mugshot 15 years ago. And the
That's
other,
just
I
sad.
guess, bad thing is that these were all black males in these mugshot photos as well.
That's in the one that got left behind. All the ones they took with them had all the other people on them.
Right, they were diversified. They had all races in the
That's
sniper
right.
target practice.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, like you said, it definitely makes it a little worse that there's six figures on this page, and all six of them are kind of young black males, which all the controversy going on right now. I'm sure that didn't take too lightly. I guess it really depends on what their mugshots are there for. If it's just kind of little stuff, maybe it is a little extreme to be shooting at them. But if they're murderers and all that stuff, hey, why not take a few shots at them?
Yeah, maybe if they're like child molesters, we use them for target.
Yeah, I think in that case,
They're
in that
mug
case,
shots,
they just
not-
need live targets for that. But
Well, yeah, I might agree with you on that. Yeah.
might.
All right. Well, that brings us to our Patreon segment where you can support great pro-gun podcasts like This Week in Guns by pledging your support at patreon.com/week. And I'd like to thank MS Clean Kits, Duluth Trading Company, GunGoddess.com, and Duke Cannon Supply Company for furnishing really cool stuff for these random battle boxes. I've just sent a few out. They have MS Clean kits in them, Duluth Trading Company $50 gift cards, GunGoddess.com $25 gift cards, and Duke Cannon Soap Company. You can see those ammo cans behind me. Those are filled with 5 big-ass bricks of soap, manly soap. So get all that cool stuff and these random battle box shipments just for being a patron of This Week in Guns. So go to patreon.com/week. And don't forget the Firearms Radio Network Patreon to support the network as a whole. Patreon.com/FRN. Well, that about wraps it up. So, TJ, where can people find Gun and Gear reviews and the Gun and Gear Review podcast?
Yeah, our website's firearmsinsider.tv, and that's where you can find the written reviews and the audio podcast of where we talk about kind of new stuff and also talk about the products we've reviewed on the review site. So it's kind of a 2-format thing, and people go check that out over there.
That's right. Unbiased reviews. You guys give the product, gun, whatever it is, a score, right? 1 out of 10.
Yep, we usually do 1 from 1 or 0. I don't know. Do we go down to 0? We've never had something that bad, but I imagine if it was so terrible, if it exploded in your face, we might give it a 0. But yeah, we try to be as unbiased as possible and try to represent new products properly, so where people can know exactly what to expect.
Very cool. And Anthony, what's going on at the AR-15 podcast?
Oh man, we've got all kinds of wonderful things that are going on right now. I just finished up an interview with an Apple Core guy yesterday. That should be going out tonight or tomorrow. Next week we've got
is it Appleseed or Apple Core? Which is it?
Appleseed is the Appleseed project. Apple Core is actually a smaller group of people with inside Appleseed that help like set up the range and do all the media contacts and that kind of stuff. The core group, yeah. Or they can also be called the Blue Hats. So you can hear all about what is the deal with the hats when you listen to that episode. And next week we've got a female shooter panel coming up. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I know that Reed and JW are out in Las Vegas partying it up right now and working all day long very, very hard and working into the night as they party as well. So we should have a lot of really fabulous things.
I hope their surgeries turn out okay coming back for the female panel.
Yeah. Yep.
So Anthony,
good stuff.
Quick question: did you guys ever actually get a winner of that rifle?
Yes, we did. We sure did. Reed finally got in touch with the correct person. I'd have to go back and look. I cannot remember his name. We've had a little problem giving that away.
Nobody wanted it, huh?
Yeah, but it is going to leave Reed safe. He's in the process of working out all the details now, so this is going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I know you tried pretty hard to convince Reed just to send it over to you, but he had too many contingencies. So.
Well, he's a lawyer. His job is contingency, so I was bound to lose that argument.
Yeah, now it's probably going to a trust that Reed created.
There you go.
It's going to Sneed Writer, right?
Yeah. So you guys make sure you come over ar15podcast.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ar15podcast. YouTube, where we have not only our regular podcast, but we also do some other things where we do little product things, spotlights, and things of that nature. youtube.com/c/AR15podcast, or you can just search AR15 podcast. You'll find us all over the place. We've got Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. So we're all over social media. Find us, follow us, and share your information with us, and we'll share back with you guys.
Very cool. Well, that wraps us up this week. You can leave your feedback by commenting on the bottom of this YouTube video or at thisweekinguns.com/101. And you can also leave your iTunes review at thisweekinguns.com/iTunes. And don't forget to contribute via our affiliate links. We still have the Brownells affiliate link and also the Amazon affiliate links. Go to thisweekinguns.com, look for those links. And that's going to be a wrap. Thank you, TJ.
Yep. Thanks, Jake. It was a good time.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, appreciate it. Glad to be here.
And we'll see you next week.